Welcome to San Antonio, Texas for this Spurs home game. Our starting lineups will look at the matchups here and who we'll see for our starting five for both teams. And as we take a long look here at Kawhi Leonard, guys, what's your thought on him?
A very encouraging start to Leonard's career, Kevin. He's a tough defender, an excellent rebounder, and his offensive game expanded pretty quickly his rookie season as well.
I expect his offense to continue growing, too. His huge hands help him in that regard, Steve. Great nose for the ball, high rate of steals, an expert at stripping it away. Taking a look at Brooklyn, they've got to feel like, guys, they have an opportunity to rack up some wins over the next stretch of their schedule. You know, they'll be playing a lot of games in their own building.
Well, I think for Brooklyn, they've got to be happy with how things have gone for them. I mean, they haven't suffered a deep drop-off, and they're still the good, solid team they were a year ago.
Yeah, but they haven't taken a step forward either. I mean, I thought maybe they would. I mean, to me, this has been a little bit disappointing. They're not in bad position. I just thought they'd be better, Clark.
And Duncan drops them both.
And as you might expect for the team with the second-best record in the West, the Spurs dominated the East last season, played each team twice for a total of 30 games, and went 25-5 in that stretch.
Pass to Johnson. Back to Garnett. Garnett left side. Pocket four. San Antonio with the rebound. And Clark, back to what you said about the Spurs and the East, it was far and away the best record against the conference, Steve, for a team in the West.
Yeah, the second best record was Memphis with 22 wins. So kind of scary to think that they rested their big stars a few times against teams in the East, and they were still able to put up that kind of a record.
Now here's Parker after the miss from Kevin Garnett. No good from Ginobili.
A clear look at the hoop. He doesn't miss many of those.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Kevin, earlier I had a chance to speak with Greg Popovich. I asked him about the player he'll try to key on in this matchup, and he had no hesitation saying Kevin Garnett. He said what makes KG special and such a problem to deal with is he can control games on both ends of the floor with his offensive and defensive skill set. Saying he has so much length, it makes it very difficult around both keys for us.
Thanks again, Doris. Kevin Garnett with the steal. Kicks to Williams. Rejected by Ginobili. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Johnson for three. It's rebounded by Splitter.
The shots aren't dropping yet. They've missed 4 of their first 5 shots.
Well, if you're going to learn from someone, you might as well take some lessons from Tim Duncan. That's what Thiago Splitter has done in San Antonio. Really kind of growing up under the tutelage of one of the great players of all time.
Brooke Lopez is checked in for Kevin Garnett. Duncan, the pass to Parker. Back to Duncan. The rebound by Johnson.
Still looking for that first hoop. 0-4 now.
And Splitter taken 28th by the Spurs way back in 2007 draft, but they had to wait 3 seasons for him to come over from Spain. And as Ray Popovich was saying just this past season, he's finally showing what he can do because he's been healthy.
Yeah, agreed, Kevin, and I think it was a wait worth making, quite honestly. I mean, one of the premier backup centers in the NBA the last 3 seasons, and he earned himself a nice payday with his new contract, too.
Now here's Parker. A 20-point game for him in the win against Sacramento.
Yeah, he picked his spots in that game, too, Kevin, because I thought he not only did a nice job scoring, but setting up his teammates as well.
Here's Duncan. He's coming off a 19-point game against Sacramento.
And his rebounding in that game, Kevin, just tremendous. He owned the boards.
And the call will be against Deron Williams. That's his first foul. And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played. Ginobili kicks to Duncan. Kicks it out to Ginobili. 6 to shoot.
Still looking for their first basket. 5 misses to start the game.
San Antonio again missing. And the whistle blows as the basket counts, and a 3-point play chance right here. 1 free throw coming up.
So I tell you what, Greg Popovich, a really impressive leader for the Spurs. He's able to keep all of his players locked into what's best for the team. Has a military background, played basketball and studied at the Air Force Academy before serving 5 years in the Air Force. And you know some of the leadership that he brings to his position was learned from his past experiences.
Here's Ginobili after Joe Johnson scored. Parker dishes to Leonard. The pass to Ginobili. To stop the run, and he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And there's the call, Brooklyn the foul. And Clark, you mentioned Pop's time at the Air Force Academy. That's where he got his start in the coaching ranks.
Yeah, 6 years as an assistant there. He was head coach at Pomona, an assistant coach with the Golden State Warriors and the Spurs, and eventually moved into the front office in San Antonio. But wow, what an amazing run it's been for him. 17 years as the head coach of the Spurs.
Boris Diaz checked in for the Spurs. Pendergraph comes in for Tim Duncan. Williams attacking. Outside Pierce. Now the dish to Blotch. Lopez passes to Blotch. Johnson, that's for 2. And he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. Johnson's got 8.
That's 4 connections and 5 tries now for him in what's been a great first quarter. You know, a lot of things went right for the Nets last season, but one area they struggled in was handling the Western Conference teams. And 30 chances against teams out west, they only won 13 times.
San Antonio shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Well, this is a club that has hit about 80% of its free throws during the season. Very impressive number.
Guys, that says a lot about the poise of this team. I mean, they've been so calm, cool, and consistent at the stripe this year. I mean, that's impressive.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Karolinko comes in for Andre Blotch, and Allen Anderson subbed in for Paul Pierce. And it's Lopez penetrating. Great D that time from Boris Diaw. And back to the Nets against the West. That number not really what you want if you plan on winning a tough division, Steve, like the Atlantic.
Well, that was the difference last year in terms of who won the Atlantic. The Knicks had a great record against the West, and the Nets did not. So I think to get a high seed, to win their division, the Nets have to have a better record against Western Conference teams this year.
You know, last season for the Nets, high expectations, guys. They were the runaway pick to be the most improved team in the league, and ownership stressed that their goal was nothing less than the championship. They had a bumpy stretch at one point, steadied themselves, but still a 3rd head coach now in the span of a year.
Now here's Terry, averaging 6 points per contest. Back to Karolinko. He kicks it to Terry. Evans, right side. Outside Karolinko. Taylor puts up a 3. That's good. Taylor's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. And when the coaching change was made for the Nets, a lot was made of some of the comments by Darren Williams. Steve admitting that he'd been more comfortable with the offense in Utah.
Well, which is kind of ironic because when he was in Utah, sometimes he complained about the style of play. I think the big thing is for Darren Williams, his teams just have to win, and he has to lead. He's being paid as a superstar, and it's up to him to lead his club, and I think that's what he's trying to do this year.
Now here's Anderson. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Karolinko kicks to Taylor. The Nets working the ball around now. Goes back up. And it's Evans missing.
Well, they'll give him that shot. He doesn't have the most reliable jump shot in the world. We know that.
Mills, that's a 2-pointer. Nails the wide-open jump shot. Looking at the last game for the Brooklyn Nets, it was a win against the Pacers in Indiana.
And you know what was most impressive? They've wasted very few possessions in that game. They ran their offense close to perfection.
That's what we call a mute button game in front of a hostile crowd. They never let the fans get into it. Had them on their hands the whole time.
Bellinelli gets the bucket.
Excellent work offensively to get that shot attempt into a can't-miss area.
Nets leading by 3. Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Hit his leg. And the refs whistling a kick ball. And the Spurs with some changes. Splitter comes in for Boris Diaw. And DeColo subbed in for Bellinelli. Now here's Terry. Anderson outside. To the paint. Evans. Knocks it loose. And there's the foul. It's on Reggie Evans. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. For San Antonio, they have been a perfect 8 of 8 at the line. He misses the free throw. And the second free throw, good. 9 seconds left in the first quarter. Taylor dishes to Evans. Misses the three. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Brooklyn ahead, leading by just 2. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this.
Start your new...
And we're getting back to the action in our New Year's Eve broadcast. All right, we'll take a look now at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for the Nets.
And they're doing a fantastic job of finding the open man and getting easy looks.
They've established their presence in the paint tonight. Also, a lot of their scoring to this point coming from down low.
And Brooklyn, look at who they've got. Tyshawn Taylor is out there with Terry. Then it's Garnett. Then there's Mirza Teletovic. And it's Kirilenko in at the small forward. Now here's Joseph. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. That's on Jason Terry.
You know, the Spurs really have a cohesive culture, and part of that is something that Greg Popovich has been able to do, and that's being able to join guys together that normally might not hang out. For instance, you had Matt Bonner taking Steven Jackson out to a Coldplay concert last season. One way to help guys get to know each other off the court, and it helps them on the court.
The first free throw is good. And back to Popovich and the Spurs, he really makes a point of getting to know his players and have them get to know one another.
That's right, Kevin. He likes to have his players have a sense of perspective about the world. He wants them to know that there are other things going on besides the NBA. In fact, back in 2012, he had the players watching the presidential debates together.
Garnett the pass to Kirilenko. Garnett kicks to Taylor. There's the three. That's good. Taylor's got his second bucket of the night.
But you can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
He feeds it to Joseph. He passes to Deco. He dishes it to Splitter. Second shot opportunity. The shot no good. The Nets go the other way with it. And this game, the first chance they've had to see the San Antonio Spurs.
It was a very one-sided matchup last year, that's for sure. They came up empty against this club on the road and in the game played in their home building.
And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. Tony Parker and teammate Boris Diaw have known each other since high school back in France. Boris says of Tony, quote, he's a point guard who can do it all. He can be an organizer and make the team play. Other times, he's going to be a scoring point guard. It's pretty rare to have both. And guys, Coach Popovich talked about how Parker's decision-making has matured as far as reading when to pass and when to score. He's found a great balance as the years have gone on, guys.
He can do it all, Doris. Pass, shoot, a special talent. Duncan with the bucket. Steve, moments ago talking about last year's meeting, and that was probably hard to swallow for a team that was typically the one doing the sweeping part, not getting swept.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, there's still no shame in losing twice to these guys. It happened to a lot of teams, even some very good ones, so they need to keep their heads high.
Here's Garnett. Rebound, San Antonio. Duncan's got 3 rebounds now in this one. This game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
And what that game came down to, guys, was their ability to use that three-point shot so effectively.
The work they did on the perimeter was absolutely outstanding. Way too much for that defense to be able to handle.
Here's Taylor after the made shot from Green. Taylor attacking. Here's Garnett. And the layup's good off the glass. Garnett's got his first bucket of the night.
Intelligent passing there to make that hoop possible.
Feeds to Duncan. Working on Teletovic. A jump hook. Dishes it to Joseph. Pass to DeColo. Right side, Green. And the foul on Andre Kirilenko. That's his first foul. Brooklyn making some changes. Paul Pierce is checked in for Mirza Teletovic. Johnson comes in for Jason Terry. And Darren Williams is subbed in for Tyshawn Taylor. Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. DeColo dishes to Joseph. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to DeColo. Buries it from about 10 feet away. And the Spurs lead by 1.
I find it comically absurd at times when you hear people talk about the Spurs being boring to watch. I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, the 4th highest scoring team in the league last season, they put up big numbers, and they do it with style, sharing the ball, and with a lot of guys getting shots.
And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for San Antonio.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
Well, the other thing I like is defensively, they're causing turnovers, and that's allowing them to get into transition.
And oh, here we go. Joseph's got it. The fast break chance. Open shot by Duncan. Brooklyn with the rebound. And the offense of the Spurs, you mentioned the style club. #1 last season in assist percentage. 4th in the three-point percentage.
Well, it's an unselfish kind of drive and kick offense. It's led by Tony Parker because of his penetration, just how fast he is. Then you've got Manu Ginobili also with his ability to get to the rim. So you spread defenses out with the penetration, the shooters. You got Tim Duncan down low. They are really tough to guard.
Here's Joseph. Darren Williams picking up that last basket. Hit his foot. And they're saying he kicked the ball. Leonard against Pierce.
And one thing he does as well as anybody, Kevin, is track the ball with his hands. Quick, strong, active. So when you go up for a shot, he's always going to be looking to strip it on the way up.
And something else that comes to mind with him is how many guys he's given the poster treatment to. I mean, flying high to power one down while the defender stands there looking for mercy.
The Nets making a switch here. Garnett's checked in.
You know, as great as 2012 was for the Nets, in many ways, they really came up short on their last game of that calendar year in 2012, the New Year's Eve matchup against the Spurs. The Nets only scored 5 points in the third quarter of that contest. A wide open three. They need much better communication defensively.
And Joseph kicks to Ginobili. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Brooklyn's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. And Clark, you were talking about the Nets. They went from looking like a team that could compete for a title to a team that, while still talented, Steve, and a lock for the playoffs, was a little closer to the middle of the pack than they thought.
Well, with the hot start they got off to, I think it was just a matter of time before they hit a cold stretch. And never fun to be held to just 5 points in a quarter. And that game had a lot of Nets fans wondering how the rest of the season would go. But, hey, they got it back together and still finished off pretty well.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, as you know, gentlemen, Greg Popovich is one of the foremost practitioners of the intentional fouling that sends poor free throw shooters to the line. Not exactly a fan favorite, and Pop says, quote, I think it's ugly, I think it's awful, but it's legal, it's there. If somebody doesn't want to get hacked, they should shoot free throws better. Guys, he's all about winning. Whether it's pretty or ugly, he doesn't care.
They wear you down, Doris. Thank you so much. Watch inside. It's good. Great play by Williams to set it up. Williams has got 3 assists tonight.
The number of points they've scored in the paint already today is pretty eye-opening, Steve.
No, it's off the charts. It really is. And defensively, I mean, they have to start shutting down some of those lanes to the hoop.
Now here's Ginobili. He picked up 21 points in their last win against Sacramento.
Yeah, Kevin, a lot of those points came at the line. So he was very aggressive with his game, attacking the D and capitalizing on those free throws.
Johnson's shot is off.
And it is very dangerous to leave him open like that. Lucky break for the defense that he missed it.
Leonard, the pass to Duncan. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Leonard kicks to Joseph. And he makes good on the layup. Joseph's got 4 points this quarter. Here's Blotch. And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession. And so it's tied as we head to halftime. Live from the AT&T.
Now, presented by Sprint.
New Year's Eve and the anticipation is building. But before the clock strikes 12, let's jump right into the halftime report. The Spurs are making every effort to win. Sitting in 7th place right now, a little too close to the bubble for their liking. They've been aggressive, drawing fouls and converting from the charity stripe. And Brooklyn also having a good first half. They're really working that ball around, doing a nice job keeping the D off balance. Joe Johnson off to a good start. He's got 10 points and a great field goal percentage for him as he's been making his shots count. And to look at the games being played right now. Toronto leading against the Bulls at United Center. Second half of basketball just...
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. You look at Joe Johnson. He's really been playing well.
It didn't take long to see what kind of game he was going to have today. He came out very aggressively and had a terrific first half.
You know, you look at his shot chart, it's all draped up. I mean, he's right at the rim. He's driving the lane again and again.
Leonard and Duncan are the pair at forward. In the backcourt, Parker and Ginobili. And it's Splitter in at the 5. That's the San Antonio 5.
You know, Darren Williams suffered a lot of injuries in the first half of last season and finally got healthy in the second half, and it showed. He was fantastic during the last 30 or 40 games or so. I think now with all this talent around him, the situation is perfect for Williams to reestablish himself as one of the elite players in this league.
Now here's Parker. Back to Ginobili. Lets it go with a 3. It's rebounded by Kevin Garnett. Garnett's got his 3rd rebound tonight. And now here's Johnson, the fast break chance. And that one's good by Pierce.
Well, you got to be so careful with him defensively because he has the ability to get hot at a moment's notice. And if that happens at the wrong time, you're in some big trouble.
And let's not leave out another branding mark of his status as much in the clutch. When a big shot's needed to win a ball game, everybody in the building knows he's going to take it. Doesn't make any difference, though. He still finds a way to knock it down.
That's good. 6 points for Kawhi Leonard.
You know, they really aren't putting up any resistance on the low block. That's the 5th consecutive basket inside.
And, Steve, these looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
Johnson can't hit. And for Williams last season, he seemed to get better, Clark, as the season wore on. Not usually the case with injuries.
So I think he, like a lot of players, Kevin, may have still been recovering from the grind of the condensed schedule 2 seasons ago. You know, he started playing in Turkey before starting that tough, shortened season. So you factor in Team USA play in the summer. He put a lot of wear and tear on his body, and I think it just took a while for it to rebound.
Here's Williams after the made shot from Splitter. The feed to Johnson. From deep. It's rebounded by Splitter. Splitter's got 6 rebounds in the game. Parker dishes to Leonard. Kicks it to Splitter. Pass to Ginobili. And the officials call goaltending, so they'll award the basket.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
Brooke Lopez is checked in for the Nets.
Manu Ginobili is really one of those electrifying all-around players. I mean, he's as fun to watch as any guy in the league. He scores, he defends, has a nose for the ball. He does everything, and usually he packs a bunch of production into short stints of playing time. He's now in his mid-30s. The question becomes for him is health. How much longer can he go at the level he's played at throughout his career?
That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. 8 points for Manu Ginobili.
Boy, nice bucket. They're really playing intelligently here.
And even though the lead's not large, they've definitely got the upper hand.
Nets trail by 9. And for Ginobili last season, his shooting percentages dipped just a little bit. Now 36 years old. He's, breaking down, it seems like on a more regular basis. Is he starting to fade in your eyes?
Sure, he is, but he's still capable of playing out of his mind on any given night. I mean, and that's what you want from a guy like that at his age. You're not going to get it every night, but can he continue to help you win games? No question, Ginobili, he showed that last year.
Johnson gets the bucket.
Well, he's been a real positive factor for them today, although, as a team, they've had a lot of negatives mixed in there as well.
Now the pass to Parker, and it's out of bounds. The Nets will take it the other way.
A moment here to take a look at some stats for Manu Ginobili. 4th in three-point field goal percentage, 10th in steals, and with a top 20 ranking in field goal percentage, he's done a nice job of creating good looks for himself.
Yeah, and, taking a look again at his three-point shooting, Steve, he's done an excellent job, I think, of finding open spots. His teammates help him get open, but he understands how to do that, and then he just splashes those triples.
Throws down the breakaway jam.
Boy, how's that for a quick possession?
Yeah, it sure was. I mean, he didn't waste any time getting down the court, did he?
Nets trail by 10.
The Spurs last year were as tough as always in San Antonio. Hard not to beat when you win 50 games every season. Ended up with a 35-6 record at home, which was good for the 3rd best in the league.
Now Johnson, following the three-point attempt by Pierce. Tries again. It's good. Great play by Williams to set it up. Williams has got his 5th assist in this one. And with the Spurs, they are just so consistent every time they take the court. You always expect them to get a win when they play in this building.
And the two teams with better home records in the NBA were the Nuggets and the Heat, both of whom had huge win streaks. But as you said, it's the Spurs' consistency every time out that lets them pile up these home wins without anyone really thinking much about it.
A different look now for San Antonio. Bellinelli, he's checked in for Ginobili. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. The dish to Splitter. Baseline jumper. And another basket for San Antonio.
There's been some slippage defensively here in the second half, Kevin. I mean, I'm not sure if their legs are going or what, but they've given up some easy baskets here.
A shot by Johnson, no good.
Well, it's the edge they've had in that area on the glass that's played a big role in this game.
Yeah, they've got some strong guys, Steve. Guys that are strong and well put together, and they've used that strength to their advantage down low.
Now Duncan, after the missed 3 from Joe Johnson.
Ill-advised shot selection right there, Clark.
It really was. I mean, very low percentage shot there.
The open shot by Pierce. And it's wide right. It's off the rim.
I think he was surprised by how much space he had there and just rushed the shot a little bit.
Bellinelli off the bit from Splitter. Bellinelli passes to Splitter. And Bellinelli kicks to Mills. He feeds it to Duncan. And it's going to be a goaltending call here, so they'll count the bucket.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
And Brooklyn making a change here. Garnett's checked in. Williams attacking. Johnson outside. Evans, he's covered by Leonard. Williams for 3. Gets it to go. Williams has got 4 points this quarter.
The thing you notice right off the bat from the statistics, just his three-point percentage. I mean, it's a terrific number, and it's a combination of things. Good shot selection, his mechanics are solid, and his movement on the perimeter is outstanding.
And maybe above all else, we should really mention just what a fantastic setup man he is. So many of their baskets come as a result of one of his assists.
Now Anderson, after the missed 3 from Mills. Williams dishes to Garnett. Evans, he kicks it to Williams. Lets the 3 fly. Good, and it's Johnson with the assist that time. And that's 12 points for Deron Williams.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Yeah, absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding. They are piling up the assists.
Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
Anderson. Another one falls for Brooklyn.
Boy, the shots finally dropping for them in bunches, and I'll I'll tell you what, the complexion of this game has totally changed.
You know, that kind of offensive eruption was the only thing that was going to get them back into this one.
Shots continuing to fall as we conclude.
Start your new.
Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The fourth quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for the Spurs.
Well, they're taking high percentage shots in the paint. I like the way their offense is clicking.
Don't overlook the success they've had at the free throw line tonight either.
On the court for the Nets, getting the fourth quarter going. Down low, Kevin Garnett and Brook Lopez. Jaron Williams and Joe Johnson at the 1 and 2. And it's Anderson in at the 3 spot.
More good work on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I think rebounding might well tell the story in this one.
And that should tilt things toward them. I mean, they've been winning that battle.
Leonard with the ball. Williams picks him up. And it's Brook Lopez with the foul. That will get him his 4th foul of the game. Paul Pierce is checked in for Alan Anderson. He dishes it to Parker. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. And the shot is good. Green's got the first basket as we get going in the 4th for San Antonio.
They've been getting way too many high percentage looks close to the basket. And I'll tell you what, when they're getting them, they're converting.
You know, the play in the paint, an aspect of this game that has gone entirely their way.
Johnson, the pass to Pierce. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it. And a quick look now at how San Antonio's schedule is shaping up. Next up for them, the Knicks coming out here to play. And that'll be the 3rd of the 4 straight at home. Here's Parker. 4th quarter just getting started. 1 minute in the books.
It's really a tough call. One you don't like to see, but it was called, and now he's got to really make sure that he's on top of his game here in regards to not picking up another foul. That was his 5th right there.
First free throw is good.
Tony Parker had a phenomenal 2011-2012 campaign, but as is the case with Greg Popovich, he challenged Parker to improve upon that for last season. Popovich told him, good players can be great for a little bit, but great players are always great. And that really resonated with Parker.
Shots good by Williams.
I don't know who was supposed to be on him there, but clearly a mistake by the defense.
Feeds it to Splitter. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. And the Spurs lead by 8. Think about how great Parker's been. We forgot his career almost came to an end in the summer of 2012. This is a very interesting part of his career.
That's right. He was an innocent bystander at a club in New York when a melee erupted and bottles were thrown. He got a shard of glass that penetrated almost through his left eye. Very easily could have lost his vision and lost his career.
There's Green with the 3. There's the bucket. Good. Green's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Now, halftime was exactly what they needed as they have shot the ball much better coming out of the break.
Yeah, they have looked a lot better this half. I don't know what it was. Perhaps they changed the rims, unbeknownst to us, but something changed.
And another three-pointer to their second half total.
Yeah, they caught that long-range bug at halftime, and it's been bombs away ever since.
San Antonio calls timeout.
Well, it's been an interesting few years for Deron Williams and a lot of controversy involving his coaches. So Williams looking for stability and also, I think, looking for maybe an improved reputation as this season unfolds.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Guys, thank you. I got a chance to hear what Greg Popovich was saying to his team. He said, we are this close to finishing them off, but the job is not done yet, and I don't want to see any let-up out there. We'll see how well his point got across, guys.
Going back to Williams-Clark and the coaching change, do you think he had a hand in that or not? It's so hard to speculate.
It really is, Kevin. I agree with you there. I think it's overblown, quite honestly. You have to remember, playing in the Big Apple, the storylines will abound, true or not, and they sometimes can take on a life of their own.
Well, the same thing happened in Utah now, too, under him.
Yeah, well, again, I think some of that, there may have been a little bit to it, but again, I think overblown is the best way to look at it.
And the call will be against Kevin Garnett. That's his 5th foul.
Yeah, close, but I didn't think he got on balance quickly enough.
And it's hard to draw charges as quick as players are at this level. That's not an easy bit of work there.
Parker against Garnett. Dishes it to Duncan. Rebound, Brooklyn. Williams has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Pierce in low to Garnett. Parker with the steal. And now running it up the court. Green pushing it all the way. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
Outside Williams. Watch inside. It's stolen by Duncan. Green with the ball. Pass to Splitter. Outside Leonard. All sorts of time. Offensive rebound. Passes to Parker. Back to Duncan. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. Good on the first, and that increases their lead to 6.
Boy, still waiting for their first miss from the foul line this half.
100% since halftime, is that right? I'm not sure this lead's going away anytime soon if that keeps up.
Manu Ginobili, he's checked in for San Antonio.
Those foul shots put them that much more in the driver's seat.
Here's Williams. Back to Blotch. The feed now to Johnson. Williams. Outside Pierce. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. He passes to Williams. Kicks it to Blotch. He's against Splitter. Blotch dishes to Pierce. Hands it from downtown. Pierce has got 5 points now this quarter.
They're getting a bunch of their points outside of the paint. 3 of their last 5 buckets are from three-point range.
But the defense isn't making them earn it. I mean, those shots have just come on easy, open looks.
Ginobili kicks to Parker. Poked away. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back.
Second half hasn't exactly gone according to plan for him. He only had 1 turnover in the first half, but that number is growing much bigger now in the second.
It's Williams with the drive. And that is good. Now just a 2-point Spurs lead.
They had that play ready to go. Well done on the inbound.
Leonard kicks to Parker. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. Garnett, and so he's picked up his final foul, and he will sit for the rest of this game. Andre Kirilenko is checked in for Brooklyn.
2 shots.
First free throw is good, and that makes it a 3-point lead. The Nets making a switch here. Lopez is checked in, and he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 4-point ball game.
Those are big free throws, guys, because now it becomes a 2-possession game.
Johnson kicks to Pierce. Back to Johnson. Lets it go from deep. Nails it! And that shot brings them to within just 1.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a scary sight when Johnson starts lighting it up like this.
Ginobili outside. Back to Parker. Pass to Ginobili. The dish to Leonard. From downtown! And it's out of bounds. The Spurs able to retain possession here. Andre Blotch. He's checked in for Andre Kirilenko. Parker drives in. There's the pass to Splitter. Ooh, the double clutch. Brooklyn with the rebound.
Really good defense there, forcing that double clutch shot.
Watch the pass to Johnson, and the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. The free throw on from Johnson. Clark, a critical possession right here.
Boy, Kevin, you can just feel the crowd on pins and needles right now.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Ginobili, that's good.
That is a clutch shot if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, very gutsy there. What more can you say? He got it done at the best time.
Parker against Williams. Back to Blotch. Tries a three. Can't get the three to fall. And it's Brook Lopez with the foul. And so he's picked up his final foul. And he will sit for the rest of this game. He hits the first one, and that will put them up by 2. Second one is good. Hitting both at the line, and it's a 3-point game.
Boy, what nerves. Those free throws now put them in a very good position. 3 points ahead.
Now here's Evans. Williams inside the line. They get it back. Knocked away. For the tie. Oh, we had a chance there to send it to overtime, but they come up empty-handed. And so it's San Antonio who's straight by with the win. Well, they don't get much more exciting than that, Clark.
They sure don't. And when it was gut check time, this team kept their composure, kept their emotions in check, and got it done.